All right, Shalom. I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Kakadash, double belongs to apostles of GMS, and it's sincere Shalom to the brothers out here pushing this truth and sincerity, and Shalom to the hopeful elect out there. And as I'm seeing, is Christian leaders arrested in Cuba protests. And apparently they have a protest. This was about a week ago, but this is from when I listened to the entire clip. It's just another setup moment, really, because all this is just to conform the people that's being rebellious to comply with the agenda. So I'll explain more as I play through the clip.
Shouting, "We are not afraid," thousands of demonstrators have joined spontaneous pro-democracy protests throughout Cuba. Many say they're fed up with 62 years of communist dictatorship. They want freedom. A government crackdown against the protesters has already begun. And here with more from Miami is Teo Baboon. Born in Cuba, Dr. Baboon is an author, evangelical philanthropist, founder of the Cuban Caribbean Development Company, and head of outreach aid to the Americas. Dr. Baboon, always good to talk to you, sir, so thanks for being with us. Some in the Biden administration suggest Cubans are taking to the streets in protest because they're angry about the government's slow COVID vaccine rollout. But I suspect there's much more going on than that. Tell us why this is happening. Are you amazed?
Thank you, Gary. No, we're not. We're not surprised that this has taken place. This has been brewing. It is not only because of what's been happening with the COVID with the pandemic issue, although it has been very serious, and the Cuban government has done a horrible job of that. I think it's a combination of a number of things that have taken place over a long period of time, and this was even predictable back in a few months ago in May, when a number of organizations that are working, particularly with the church in Cuba, with the faith-based community, both the evangelical community and the Catholic community, began to see a tremendous amount of publishing taking place by both pastors, leaders of the evangelical community, and Catholic priests in social media, demanding that the government pay attention to the tremendous amount of hurt that was taking place.
And as he was going through it, Esau likes to set up these things because we know these leaders are all linked in together, especially since they can all come together, even though they all supposedly different. Don't know how, but this is Micah 2:1. He says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand." And this is what Esau does. He sets a problem and then comes with a solution. Now all of a sudden people is upset because of because now they tired of 65 years of communism. Y'all, if that was the case, y'all, they would have been done it. Then, as he says, even the guy said that he thinks it's more than just this whole slow COVID thing. I mean, this whole slow poke thing going on for it being slow. It's more to that, and it is. It's always been more to that. All they trying to do is get people that's being rebellious under to one control. So I might even skip a little forward towards it to get to the points.
Top of it.
Cuban American mafia propagandists. I guess that's what you are. So we know troops are assaulting demonstrators with batons. Are they using live fire against the protesters? What have you learned about the crackdown?
Well, unfortunately for us, the faith community, this has translated into a disaster. We are now monitoring two Baptist pastors in Matanzas, Pastor Blanco and Sierra in Matanza who were just apprehended. Also, Pastor Perez in Camagüey who has been apprehended. Those are Baptists. Then we have a Methodist pastor who has been apprehended with his son simply because he stepped outside and was marching along with the thousands of people that were out in the street. Perhaps the saddest is that a Catholic priest that has been very vocal, is very evangelical himself, and is someone that we have worked with. Pastor Castor Jose Alvarez was hit over the head by one of these rapid brigades. Some people took pictures of him bleeding, and he was taken to a police station in the province of Camagüey, and no one knows. He has no access. No one knows where he's at. He was scheduled to come to Miami, and we feel that he won't be able to come. He was together with two lay youth workers, both of which were removed from Camagüey and taken to Havana. Just to give you an idea, that's about a 300-mile distance away from their family. So the government is cracking down hard, and they are in particularly taking their shots at the evangelical and the Catholic community, because they know that that's where the leadership is. They know that those are the people that the people follow, and those are the righteous ones that have been preaching freedom of religion.
Even though he's wrong about the last part, these are the people that they follow, because these churches are a big symbol to these people, especially anywhere Christian related heavy. This is Proverbs 29:2. It says, "When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn." So let's say if these Christian leaders were actually being rebellious, even for that part to even come up saying that they've been taking these leaders and you don't see them again, or they'll send them so far out from away from their families. So either one or two things are happening. They've even been called there because they are part of this thing, or they really are rebelling, and Esau needs to get rid of them. It's either one of those two things. Because why else would they scatter them away? So I'm gonna actually go to the last part of this to get to the point
here, and we hope that the international community does pay attention to what's happening. The government wants to receive humanitarian assistance and continue the free flow of trade with the United States, that they need to stop this apprehensions.
Actually, this is right here. Salaki.
Term future must be respected. But Senator Rubio has criticized the president for his soft response. So what do you think the president should do, President Biden?
Well, I think that immediately they should start a dialogue with the Cuban government to stop them, to have them stop, or else further sanctions should be introduced against the Cuban government. And I think beyond that, the Cuban government should be, the U.S. should demand that if the Cuban government wants to receive humanitarian assistance and continue the free flow of trade with the United States, that they need to stop these apprehensions, these illegal arrests that are taking place against pastors and others. And then we should perhaps provide humanitarian assistance to be distributed by the churches to the people without any intervention by the Cuban government. That should be a condition.
And you see, he just sounds like he just want, like any other Christians, he want people to conform. So this even goes back to Micah 2:1, where it says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds." And this is because these guys want these people to conform, and because why else would he want? Because it sounds like a parent-child thing. He wants Biden to talk to these people and tell them, hey, if you don't act right, we're gonna take away more of your freedom, and so until you obey like slaves. Especially since those Cubans are Israelites too. So this is Psalms 83:3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. They have consulted together with one consent. They confederate against thee, and that's exactly what Esau has been doing with our people for the longest time. So now all of a sudden, now people is all of a sudden upset with the communism, and now Esau's like, it's just further pushing them down into a drain. That was already cut off. He already took out national. I'm sorry, our heritage. That's what I'm looking for. He's already taken our heritage. Without that, our people became nothing. Without that, our people still over here calling each other Cubans, blacks, African, Latinos, Mexican. This is what's happening. This is why Esau's further pushing down on our people, not just here, but in anywhere our people may dwell. This is Isaiah 31:1. It says, woe to them that go down to Egypt for help, and stay on horses, and trust in chariots, because they are many, and in horsemen, because they are very strong. But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord. And because Esau pushed down on our people so hard, our people are still looking for a way of freedom in not only just in this society, but Cuba, Jamaica, you anywhere that our people dwell. And our people, none of our people can understand that there's no such thing as freedom. There's never been such thing as freedom. There's only been I guess you could say a temporary freedom to go ahead and do what you want, but that's not even still freedom. This is something that can never be attained, especially in this society. We can't even feel free in the society, because we could get sick, anything can happen, any form of freedom could offend someone. And I mean, you could do something, someone gets offended, try to kill you, some other mess. So it's a whole war with this whole lifestyle of this age. Because apparently now that the people in this society wants freedom, everybody in every society wants freedom, and it doesn't work that way. Because freedom just leads to what this madness is today, and that's not even freedom. Because guess what? We're still slaves no matter where we go. But that's pretty much all I wanted to go into with that. So with that, shalom.